Welcome back to our channel US Coins World. Today, we're diving into the world of rare state $quarter coins. Some of these could be worth a small fortune. If you've got quarters lying around, you won't want to miss this. Let's find out if you're sitting on hidden treasure. So let's continue our today's video on Top 1. Today, we're heading down to the heart of the bluegrass state to talk about a coin that might be sitting unnoticed in your drawer, in your wallet, or even in a forgotten change jar. We're talking about none other than the 2001 Kentucky State Quarter. A coin that, to most people, is just 25 cents, but to collectors in the know, it could be a hidden fortune in plain sight. So how does a standard-looking state quarter go from pocket change to prized possession? How can a 2001 Kentucky quarter, something millions of Americans have handled, be worth thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars? Well, sit tight, because in this video, we're going to break it all down. From the design and symbolism of the Kentucky quarter to the rare and fascinating mint errors that make this coin so valuable, you're about to find out why this humble little coin could fetch a mind-blowing amount of money. Let's begin with the basics. The Kentucky State Quarter was released in 2001 as part of the U.S. Mint's historic 50 State Quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Each year, 5 new quarters were released to honor each state in the order they joined the Union. Kentucky was the 15th state, and its coin pays tribute to the cultural heritage the state is known for. The reverse design is truly a work of art. It features Federal Hill, the historic mansion that inspired Stephen Foster's famous song My Old Kentucky Home, with a thoroughbred horse standing proudly behind a traditional wooden fence in the foreground. These design elements symbolize the state's deep connection to horse breeding, Southern hospitality, and rich cultural history. But here's where it gets interesting. While the Kentucky quarter is beautiful on its own, it's not the art that's making collectors go wild, it's the rare minting errors that have appeared on a small number of these coins. Let's talk about those rare, valuable mistakes that can turn a coin from common to collectible gold. The most well-known error associated with the 2001 Kentucky quarter is the double die error. This occurs when the coin is struck twice with a slight shift between strikes, causing the details, like lettering, numbers, or design features, to appear doubled. It can be subtle or dramatic, but when you spot it, it's a clear signal that you've got something special in your hands. In the case of the Kentucky quarter, double die errors can often be found in the inscriptions like Kentucky, e pluribus unum, or United States of America. Sometimes you'll even notice doubling in the intricate design of the horse's mane or the rails of the fence. These variations are highly sought after by collectors because they are unique and incredibly hard to find. Next, we have the off-center strike. This is one of the most visually obvious minting errors and occurs when the coin is not perfectly aligned within the press. This results in a coin where part of the design is missing or shifted significantly toward one side. The greater the misalignment, especially if the date is still visible, the higher the value. An off-center Kentucky quarter that's around 10% to 20% off-center can already fetch high interest, but anything more extreme becomes a major collector's piece. Another error to look out for is the clipped planchet error. This happens when the metal blank, called a planchet, that is supposed to be a perfect circle is improperly cut, leaving a chunk missing from the coin's edge. It might look like a bite has been taken out of the quarter. These clipped errors are fairly rare and, when found on a state quarter like Kentucky, make the coin instantly more valuable. And then there's the wrong planchet error, a true rarity. This error occurs when a Kentucky quarter is struck on a planchet meant for another coin, like a nickel or a foreign denomination. These coins are smaller, lighter, and might have a different metallic composition, making them stand out instantly. These are among the most valuable types of error coins out there, but let's not forget about condition. It doesn't matter how rare an error is, if the coin is scratched up, worn down, or damaged, the value takes a serious hit. That's why collectors look for coins in mint state or uncirculated condition, which means the coin has never been used in day-to-day transactions. If your Kentucky quarter has a bright, shiny finish, with no signs of wear, you're already ahead of the game. Pair that with a rare error, and you could be holding on to a serious payday. So, where do these valuable coins come from? Most of the known high-value Kentucky quarters with errors were found by sharp-eyed individuals checking coin rolls, bank change, and even random loose change at home. This is why coin collectors always say, check your change. You never know what's waiting to be discovered. You might be wondering, how many of these rare Kentucky quarters exist? The answer is, not many. With over 700 million Kentucky quarters minted in total, only a tiny fraction carry significant errors. And of those, even fewer are in pristine condition. That's what makes them so valuable. They are not just coins, they are accidental rarities, pieces of American minting history that escaped into the public and became prized finds. Collectors are willing to pay serious money for these coins, and it's easy to understand why. They're rare, historical, and often one of a kind. They represent a moment when the machines at the US Mint did something unexpected, creating a coin that was never meant to exist in that form. And to collectors, that's where the true treasure lies. So let's bring it all together. You have a Kentucky State quarter from 2001. It has an obvious error, maybe doubling, maybe off-center, maybe something rarer, and it's in mint or uncirculated condition. What could it be worth? Well, brace yourself. Because one of these rare Kentucky quarters, verified with a major minting error and professionally graded in pristine condition, has fetched as much as $86,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. $86,000, all from a single quarter. A coin you might have once used at a vending machine or handed over for change without thinking twice. This is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Every coin you come across holds a story, and in rare cases, a fortune. So start checking your change, your drawers, your jars, and your pockets. That rare Kentucky quarter might be closer than you think. Top 2 we're diving into today. Let's talk about a coin that you may have handled 1,000 times without even realizing it. A coin that, in the right condition and with the right mistake, could be worth more than an SUV, more than a down payment on a house, and maybe even more than your annual salary. I'm talking about none other than the Ohio State quarter from the year 2002. Yes, the same quarter that was issued as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, this one celebrating Ohio's rich legacy in space and flight. But don't be fooled by its humble 25-cent face value. If you find the right version of this coin, you could be holding something incredibly rare, extremely desirable, and quite literally, worth thousands. So let's jump into the story, the design, the mystery, and the money behind the 2002 Ohio quarter. Stay tuned till the end, because I'm going to reveal just how much one of these rare beauties sold for. Spoiler alert, the number will leave you speechless. To start, let's rewind to 2002. The 50 State Quarters program was already in full swing, releasing 5 new quarters each year featuring unique designs that represented the culture and history of each state. Ohio's turn came early in the 3rd year of the program, and the mint went big. The reverse of the Ohio State quarter is an absolute tribute to American innovation. It features an early airplane, the Wright Flyer, and an astronaut, both hovering over a textured outline of the state. Why? Because Ohio has the distinct honor of being the birthplace of aviation pioneers, from the Wright brothers who took to the skies, to astronauts like Neil Armstrong and John Glenn, who reached beyond our atmosphere. Add the tagline, birthplace of aviation pioneers, and you've got one of the most historically rich and visually dynamic state quarters ever released. It's a powerful image. And for collectors, that power goes far beyond aesthetics, because something went wrong during the minting process for a small number of these coins. And that, something wrong, turned into something very valuable. You see, not all Ohio quarters are worth thousands. In fact, most are only worth their face value. But a select few have errors, tiny imperfections caused during the minting process, that make them exceptionally rare. And in the world of coin collecting, rarity equals value. Let's talk about the most desirable mint errors associated with the 2002 Ohio quarter. First up, double die errors. This occurs when the die, the device that stamps the image onto the coin, strikes the blank twice, but slightly off position. The result is a ghostly doubling of letters or parts of the design. On the Ohio quarter, you might find doubling on the words United States of America, Ohio, or E pluribus unum. You could even see it on the figure of the astronaut or the Wright Flyer. These errors are subtle, but a trained eye, or even a magnifying glass, can spot them, and they can skyrocket the value of your coin. Another highly sought-after mistake is the off-center strike. This is when the coin blank wasn't correctly aligned in the machine, resulting in a design that's visibly shifted to one side. A 5% or 10% misalignment is interesting, but a 15%, 20%, or more, especially one where the date and mint mark are still visible, is a real prize. Then there's the die break, or what's often called a cut error. This happens when part of the die breaks off during production, leaving behind a raised blob or line on the coin where metal filled the broken space. On the Ohio quarter, cut errors have appeared near the edges, or along the airplane wings and text. These may look strange at first glance, but to collectors, they are gold. Perhaps the rarest of all is the wrong planchet error. Imagine this: a coin intended to be a quarter gets struck on a planchet meant for a dime, nickel, or even a foreign coin. It's the same Ohio design, but it's on the wrong metal, wrong weight, and wrong size. These errors are extremely rare and, when authenticated, are worth serious money, but here's something many people overlook: condition matters. Even a coin with a rare error won't fetch its full potential unless it's in exceptional condition. That means no heavy scratches, no discoloration, no wear from years of circulation. Coins that are bright, sharp, and preserved in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially those professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC, are the ones that turn heads at auctions. Now, how rare are these Ohio error quarters? In short, not very many exist. Out of hundreds of millions of quarters minted that year, only a microscopic fraction have known mint errors. And of those, only a small number remain in high-grade condition. That's what makes this hunt so exciting. You could be holding one in your collection without even realizing it. Collectors spend years searching through rolls of quarters, buying from estate sales, and digging through old boxes just hoping to spot that one coin, the one with the error, the shine, the rarity. And the Ohio quarter is one of the most exciting of them all because of the number of potential errors and the patriotic, iconic theme behind its design. Now let's get to the moment we've all been waiting for. The reason this coin deserves your full attention. The reason you might want to start checking every quarter that comes your way. How much could the 2002 Ohio State quarter be worth if it has the right mint error and is in pristine condition? Hold on tight. One verified example, featuring a significant minting error and professionally graded as being in superb condition, sold for a staggering $83,000. That's right, $83,000 US. For a coin that most people wouldn't look twice at. So what can you do? Start by checking your change. Take a close look at any 2002 Ohio quarters you come across. Grab a magnifying glass and examine the details. Are the letters crisp and clean? Is there any doubling? Any shifts or misalignments? Any odd bumps or lines that don't belong? If you see anything unusual, it just might be time to send that coin in for grading. And remember, it's not just about money. These coins are tiny windows into American history. They capture our progress, our pride, and sometimes, our unexpected imperfections. And that's what makes them valuable, not just in dollars, but in story and spirit. Top 3. We're talking about the 2004 Texas State Quarter. And let me tell you, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. It's not just a tribute to Texas pride, it could be the key to a small fortune. At first glance, the Texas quarter is bold and patriotic. Part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, which launched in 1999 and ended in 2008, this coin was issued to honor the 28th state to join the Union. Texas got its quarter in 2004, and the design does not disappoint. On the reverse of the coin, you'll see an outline of the state of Texas. Within it sits a prominent 5-pointed lone star, the very symbol that gives Texas its nickname. Wrapped around the design is a lasso, a nod to Texas's cowboy culture and its deep roots in ranching and frontier life. Beneath it, the date of statehood, 1845, the year Texas officially became part of the United States. Now, while the design is impressive, what truly makes this coin special to collectors isn't just how it looks, it's what went wrong when some of them were made. That's right, minting errors. These are the moments when something doesn't go quite right during the manufacturing process. Most errors are caught and melted down, but a few escape the mint's quality control and make their way into the public. And when they do, they become treasures. Let's start with one of the most valuable errors you can find, the double die error. This happens when the die, a metal stamp that strikes the coin, is misaligned or used multiple times in the minting process, leaving behind a doubled image. On the Texas quarter, this might show up in the words United States of America, the year 2004, or the intricate lasso pattern. If the doubling is clear and dramatic, it makes the coin extremely valuable. Another rare error is the off-center strike. This is pretty easy to spot. Instead of the design being neatly centered, it's shifted to one side, with part of the coin's design missing entirely. The more dramatic the off-center strike, and the more details still visible like the date and mint mark, the more collectors will pay. Then there's the clipped planchet error. In this case, the coin blank, the piece of metal the coin is made from, was improperly cut before being struck. The result? A quarter that looks like a chunk has been bitten off the edge. It's a visual oddity, and collectors love that kind of uniqueness. Let's not forget about wrong planchet errors, which are among the rarest and most exciting. This occurs when a coin is struck on a blank meant for another denomination. Imagine a Texas quarter struck on a dime-sized blank, or on a planchet with a different metal composition. These coins look and feel different. They often go unnoticed, but when found and authenticated, they can fetch thousands of dollars. Now, combine any of those errors with a coin in mint or uncirculated condition, and you've got something truly valuable. A coin that was never used in circulation, no scratches, no fading, no dings or dents, is the gold standard for collectors. Many coins are professionally graded by third-party services like PCGS or NGC and assigned a grade based on their condition. The highest grades, like MS-66, MS-67, or MS-68, can make all the difference in value. But why the Texas quarter? Why does this one stand out among the 50 state quarters? Well, for starters, Texas has one of the most recognized and iconic identities of any U.S. state. Collectors love coins that are bold, patriotic, and full of cultural symbolism, and this quarter delivers all of that. The Lone Star, the lasso, the shape of Texas, it's an image of independence and heritage. Secondly, while over 350 million Texas quarters were minted, only a tiny handful of them have documented and confirmed minting errors. So while it's not rare in general circulation, the error versions are incredibly rare, and that's what makes them so valuable. It's like trying to find a single grain of gold in a mountain of sand, and let's talk about collector psychology for a second. Coins like the Texas quarter hit a sweet spot. They're modern enough that people remember them, but old enough that finding one in perfect condition is becoming increasingly difficult. Add in the thrill of potentially spotting a rare mint error, and you have the perfect storm for skyrocketing value. Now, here's the part you've all been waiting for. You might be thinking, okay, so if I have a Texas quarter from 2004, and it has a minting error, and it's in amazing condition, how much could it actually be worth? Well, brace yourself, because one of these rare Texas quarters, confirmed to have a dramatic minting error and graded in nearly perfect condition, sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $80,000. That's right, $80,000 for a single quarter. Just imagine that for a second. A coin you might have spent on a candy bar, or used at a parking meter, could actually be worth more than a brand new luxury car, and that's the magic of coin collecting. It's not just about money, it's about discovery. It's about history. It's about turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. And it's about the possibility that something valuable might already be in your hands, you just haven't realized it. So what should you do now? Start by checking your change. Look closely at any 2004 Texas quarters. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. Pay attention to the details, lettering, alignment, unusual bumps or dents, or even the sound and weight of the coin. If you see anything that looks off, don't spend it. Protect it, research it, and consider having it graded by a professional, because that little coin could be hiding something incredible. Top 4. We're uncovering the story behind one of the most fascinating coins in the 50-state quarter series, the 2008 Arizona State Quarter. This coin isn't just a tribute to the Grand Canyon State, it's a hidden treasure with a value that might just blow your mind, that will take you on a journey through the history, design, and most importantly, the rare minting errors that make this coin a must-have for collectors everywhere. So listen carefully, because by the end of this video, you might find yourself hunting for this very quarter in your own collection. Let's start with the background. The 50-state quarters program was launched by the U.S. Mint in 1999, and it quickly became one of the most popular and successful coin series in American history. Each state was given a unique quarter design that represented its culture, history, or natural landmarks. Arizona's quarter was released in 2008, the final year of the series, making it one of the last pieces to complete the set. Arizona's quarter is a visual tribute to its famous natural beauty and wildlife. The reverse side features a stunning image of a saguaro cactus, an iconic symbol of the Arizona desert, set against the backdrop of the rugged Four Peaks mountain range. To the right, there's a soaring Gila woodpecker, a bird native to the region, perched proudly on the cactus. Around the rim, the words, Grand Canyon State, Arizona, 2008, and E Pluribus Unum, complete the design. On the front side, as with all quarters, you'll find the familiar profile of George Washington, symbolizing the continuity of American history. Now, what makes the 2008 Arizona quarter truly special isn't just its design or being part of the last group of state quarters minted. It's the rarity created by minting errors that can turn a common coin into an extraordinary collectible worth thousands, sometimes even tens of thousands, of dollars. The first major type of error to watch out for is the double die error. This happens during the minting process when the coin is struck twice, but the die shifts slightly between strikes, causing a doubling effect on the lettering or design elements. On the Arizona quarter, this can be seen in areas like the word Arizona, the cactus spines, or even the bird's feathers. This doubling effect makes the coin stand out and is highly sought after by collectors. Another fascinating error is the off-center strike. Imagine a coin where the design is not perfectly centered but shifted to the side, resulting in a portion of the image being cut off. On the Arizona quarter, an off-center strike can make the Gila woodpecker or the cactus partially missing from the coin's face. The rarity and severity of the off-center strike often determine how much a collector might pay. The more dramatic and clear the off-centering, the more valuable the coin can become. We also have the clipped planchet error. This error occurs when the metal blank, called the planchet, that the coin is struck on isn't properly cut, leading to a coin that looks like it has a bite taken out of the edge. Clipped planchets can vary in size and shape, and the unusual look is highly collectible, especially when combined with other error types. There are also wrong planchet errors where a quarter is struck on a planchet intended for another denomination or coin type. For example, a 2008 Arizona quarter struck on a penny or dime planchet is incredibly rare and valuable. Now, all these errors become even more significant when paired with coins that are in mint condition. A coin's condition is crucial in the world of collecting. The less wear, scratches, or discoloration, the higher its grade, and the more it's worth. Coins graded as mint state, MS, 65 or higher are extremely rare to find with minting errors intact because most error coins were caught and melted down before distribution. What's amazing about the 2008 Arizona quarter is that although millions were minted for circulation, very few error coins with these striking features have surfaced. That scarcity has driven prices up significantly in recent years. For collectors, the story behind the Arizona quarter doesn't end with rarity. It's also about the pride and symbolism packed into a small piece of metal. The saguaro cactus is not just any plant, it's a survivor of harsh desert conditions and represents endurance and resilience. The Gila woodpecker, unique to the Southwest, adds to the narrative of Arizona's rich natural heritage. Together, they make this quarter more than just currency, it's a piece of art and history. So, why is this important to you? Because if you happen to have a 2008 Arizona quarter with one of these minting errors, especially if it's in pristine condition, you might be sitting on a piece worth $78,000. Yes, you heard that right. $78,000 for a single Arizona quarter. This isn't a joke or an exaggeration. Certified error coins from this issue have appeared at auctions fetching prices that turn heads and break records. For everyday collectors, this is a reminder to always inspect coins carefully, especially those from popular series like the 50-state quarters. So, what's the best way to find out if your quarter might be valuable? First, examine it closely under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass or even a jeweler's loupe. Look for signs of doubling, off-centering, clipping, or any odd features. If you find something unusual, it's worth getting the coin professionally graded and authenticated by experts such as PCGS or NGC. Never underestimate the power of curiosity and diligence in coin collecting. Sometimes, the most unexpected finds can lead to the biggest rewards. Top 5. We're diving into the world of the 2010 Hot Springs National Park Quarter, a coin that not only marks the beginning of the America the Beautiful Quarter series but also holds significant value for collectors. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, this coin offers a fascinating glimpse into U.S. history and coinage, design and symbolism. The 2010 Hot Springs National Park Quarter is the first release in the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which honors national parks and sites across the United States. The reverse side of the coin features the facade of the Hot Springs National Park headquarters building, with a thermal spring fountain in the foreground. This design pays homage to the park's rich history and its significance as the first national park established by the federal government in 1832. The obverse side showcases the classic portrait of George Washington, as seen on all quarters since 1932. Rarity and mintage. While millions of these quarters were minted, certain versions are rarer and more sought after by collectors. The standard circulation versions from the Philadelphia and Denver mints have higher mintages and are more commonly found. However, the San Francisco minted proof and silver proof versions are significantly rarer. For instance, only 859,417 silver proof quarters were minted, making them more valuable due to their limited availability and the intrinsic value of the silver content. Minting errors and collectible value. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is discovering minting errors, and the 2010 Hot Springs National Park Quarter is no exception. Various errors have been reported, including die cracks, off-center strikes, and clipped planchets. These errors occur during the minting process and can make a coin much more valuable to collectors due to their rarity. For example, a 2010 Arkansas Hot Springs ATB quarter with a die crack error across Washington's mouth was auctioned for over $1,000, highlighting the premium collectors are willing to pay for such unique specimens. Collector's insight: if you're looking to add a 2010 Hot Springs National Park Quarter to your collection, consider the condition and type of coin. Uncirculated coins, especially those with minting errors, are highly prized. Proof and silver proof versions not only offer aesthetic appeal due to their enhanced finishes but also hold intrinsic value due to their silver content. When examining a coin, look for sharp details, minimal wear, and any unique features that might indicate a minting error. Utilizing a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe can help in identifying these subtle characteristics. Conclusion: the 2010 Hot Springs National Park Quarter is more than just a piece of currency, it's a testament to America's rich history and the artistry involved in coin production. Its unique design, coupled with the potential for rare minting errors, makes it a valuable addition to any collection. So, next time you're going through your change or browsing through coin dealers, keep an eye out for this particular quarter. You might just find a hidden gem worth more than its face value. Thank you for joining us on this numismatic journey. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to stay updated on our latest content. Happy collecting!